I have, you know, very like out there lips, and I've just like, you know, dotted a bit more of Fenty Glow on it, and it looks amazing. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a Fenty Beauty tutorial and review. I'm so excited to share with you guys my goodies and the stuff that I got just last week. I was invited to the launch, so a big thank you to the Fenty Beauty team for having me on Friday. I got to meet up with other bloggers and just play around with the products, and we had the opportunity firsthand in the UK to purchase the stuff. So they also gave me a goodie bag, which is really lovely of them, because, you know, it's nice to get free products every now and again. I bought literally a full face of makeup. I got the foundation, the Pro Filter foundation, which comes in 40 shades, which is pretty cool for sort of like a first launch of a beauty line. To have that many shades of foundation is pretty impressive. And I had a swatchathon, just, you know, playing around with it on the event day, and I ended up buying two of the foundations, one sort of like my skin tone and one slightly lighter, because I wanted to do like a mix and match and sort of like mix them up and see if I can match perfectly for my skin tone. I thought it would be better for me to sort of like do a tutorial and actually show you guys all the individual products and then apply them onto my skin, so you can see what a full face of Fenty looks like. So I'm going to start off with the Pro Filter primer, and this is in soft matte. And my skin is very sort of like normal, and I do get quite oily in my T-zone area, so this is like the kind of area that I prefer to concentrate whenever I'm using like a matte primer. And then I tend to just leave the rest of my face quite bare, because those areas tend to get a bit dry. So I do have like a combination of normal, oily and dry skin. And it just depends on the areas of my sort of like face. So that's why I'm just going to apply this with my fingers just in my T-zone area, underneath my eye, on my eyelid. So now I'm going to go in with the foundation, the Pro Filter foundation, and I got the shade 350 and 360, and they're both sort of like yellowish. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the both together, because 350 comes out a little bit too light and 360 is just that bit darker, but I think together they'd go well. So this is the first time I'm doing it, so hopefully it actually turns well for the video. I'm going to put one pump of 350, and then I'm going to do another pump of 360, so you can see it's all nicely mixed up. This foundation is very sort of like liquidy and creamy. It kind of reminds me of Face and Body. And I actually like to apply face and body with my fingers. But then I do have a sponge here by also by Fenty Beauty, which I'm going to use to apply on one half of the face, and I'm going to apply the foundation with my fingers on the other half, so you can see. So right now I'm just popping it on to my skin with my fingers, and I'm just pressing that on. I like to go for a very natural look with my foundation, because I do like it to look like my own skin, almost as if, like, you know, there's nothing on there. So that's what it looks like applied and blended in with my finger. Now I'm going to use the sponge, and I'm just going to use that to blend it on this side of my face. Just going to pat that onto the skin. So far I'm actually loving the coverage of this. It's got like medium to full coverage. I'm just going to take it slightly over the eye and just above the brow. I'm going to leave my forehead a bit bare, because I don't want too much foundation on there today. It's very liquidy at first, but then once you blend it onto the skin, it actually looks matte and it feels matte. And I like the sponge. I'm really happy about that. It's really soft. Normally I would dampen my sponge, but this actually blends the foundation in without having to dampen it, so that does save you a step. That's good. So next I have the Matchsticks. So I'm guessing they're like a cream stick foundation, but then you can also use them for like, sorry, I just like doing that. It's kind of fun. It's gonna get annoying for you guys, so I will stop. But this is in the shade Mocha, which is like 2 shades or 3 shades darker than my skin. And the next one is in Caramel, which is, from the look of it, I think it's my skin. I'm going to try and highlight and contour with the both of these, and we will see how we get on. Forehead. And get a nice little stripes going on in the forehead, like that. And then I'm going to bring it down in the bridge of my nose. Then I'm going to take it underneath the eye. And bring it down like a little triangle. And then stretch it across like so. And I'm going to go to the chin area. And then just above the Cupid's bow and on the philtrum as well. I'm going to put some down here. So far kind of liking the texture of this. I'm going to take the sponge again, and then I'm just going to blend this in very nicely. It's blending in really seamlessly. Yes. Okay, wow, that looks very soft and velvety. Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm going to pop this underneath. I'm going to blend here as well. Bear in mind I haven't actually wet this yet, but it's still so soft that is blending it really seamlessly. Alright, okay. Now I'm going to contour. So I'm going to go to the hollows of my cheeks. And get that in there. I think I should have gone for a darker shade. Or maybe a different sort of like undertone, because this one, the undertone isn't, I don't know whether you guys can tell, but it looks almost purpley, but I don't know, maybe if I blend it a bit more it would look good, but yeah, I'm thinking I should have gone for a darker tone. Okay, so I did like a quick little eye makeup look, supernatural. This is the Invisimatte blotting powder, and it's a universal, so it's comes in sort of like a translucent kind of like finish, so that means everybody can use it no matter the skin tone, which is pretty cool. So I'm just going to blend that in there, and then I'm just going to sort of like blot this in areas that I want to powder. So like under the eye especially, I applied the highlight concealer on the nose and on the forehead. Okay, so I'm just going to sort of like blend that in. So now I'm going to be applying the Killawatt highlighter. Now I'm gonna choose the one I want to go for. I've got all these 3. I think there are more of these in the collection, but these are the 3 that sort of like spoke to me and I decided to pick up. Just gonna dip that into Chic Freak. Oh, this is nice. Oh wow, this is nice. This is really nice. Wow, that is really pigmented. Now for the lips, and this is called Fenty Glow Gloss Bomb. I'm going to just apply this all over my lips. This is nice. It's soft. It's quite pretty. I decided I'd go for like an ombre look, and I used Night Moth lip liner just around the lip line, just to give it more of like an ombre look. And I've just like, you know, dotted a bit more of Fenty Glow on it, and it looks amazing. Yes, I'm looking at Trophy Wife, and Trophy Wife is looking at me like, hey, are you gonna put me on? Are you gonna show the people what the Trophy Wife looks on you? Hell yeah, man. Lord, just wow, that is glistening. Like, I have never seen a highlighter just come out the pot so pigmented but yet so smooth going on. Wow. Put some on my nose as well. Oh yeah, let's glow. No, it's actually really nice. It's really different. Okay, so I'm going to have a rundown and overview of the products, and starting with the primer. This is very good. I've used it on the center of my face just to mattify the area, and it provides a really good base for the foundation. Now, I've gone with 2 different shades to mix because I did want a really perfect match for my skin, and as you can see, it really matched my skin perfectly, mixing the both together. And I love the texture. The scent is also very nice and welcoming, and it's one of those ones I know I won't get sick of, because normally I don't like scent in my foundation, but this one so far so good. And I love that it blends in very easily, even with my fingers. Like, all I had to do was pat it on this side. And which brings me on to the next thing, which is the sponge. This is a miracle sponge because it has actually blended in the foundation and the concealer and the contour very, very well. And I like this little bit as well, which is very precise, so it can go underneath the eye, on the side, around the nose, and you know, the nooks and crannies of the face. So overall shape of this, I was going to call it a beauty blender, but the sponge is very good. I'm very impressed with that. So next are the Matchsticks. Now these ones come in, you know, different shades. You can use it to contour and to highlight, and also to hide blemishes with the same skin tone as you. I went for a lighter one for the highlight, and I went for a darker one for the contour. This one's in caramel and this one's in mocha. I do wish I went for a darker shade and one that's less sort of like purpley, sort of like ashy, because this one did come off a bit ashy on my skin, but that's because I think it's not the right shade for me to use for contour. I'm going to go back and see if there's any other ones that are slightly darker that would suit me perfectly, but I have been able to blend that in and work my way around it, and so far so good. Next, the blotting powder, the universal blotting powder. This is a very good product because you can actually keep this in your handbag and blot your makeup throughout the day and get rid of any oils or any extra glow that you don't really want. And it's nice because it's going to suit everybody's skin tone because it's a universal translucent, and you know, everybody always needs a translucent powder, so this is a very, very good one. I'm happy with that. The Kilowatt highlighters, I love this. I think that this one would be so perfect on those days I really want to go for a really natural look, but this one is like an oomph upon oomph upon oomph, and just layered over this one has created such a lovely glow on my skin, which I really love. And it's very different because it's got like a yellowish goldish base to it, which, you know, at first glance I probably wouldn't pick, but I love that it does, and I like that it's kind of brightened up my face, and I really like it. So yeah, good on that for trophy wife. And I love the girl next door chic freak, you know, for sort of like every day, but together they are a match made in heaven. So far so good, liking those. So onto the brushes. Now this one is a foundation brush, and it's a buffing brush just because of the shape and the density of the bristles. They are synthetic bristles, so you know, they're going to really blend in makeup very well. Today I use this to sort of like buff in the contour stick because I think it's very good to sort of buff in cream foundations and cream contours and stuff, and it really blended that in very well. The next is the highlight brush. I love the shape of this highlight brush because it does get into the skin very well, and it's good because you can actually, you know, use circular motions and actually buff in the highlighter as well to make everything look nice and seamless. So the brush is good. So that's it for my Fenty Beauty tutorial and review. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!
I stayed up late for you, poured up these drinks for you.